They're going to do it all, leaving the rest of the world behind and bringing the BRICS countries up. And it's that strategy that people believe the BRICS are using. However, hi guys, this one is going to be about this whole rumor that I've seen going around about BRICS coin. And then following on from that, when I was doing a little bit more research today in the preparation for this video, I noticed an article came out very recently that basically talked about the whole reason why and how BRICS could actually come together to de-dollarize, how they could do that, all the different strategies that they might use, and ultimately the strategy that they are using and why that might not necessarily lead to the outcomes that we believe are going to happen. I'm in the car right now, strapped in, because I'm about to go and view an office space. Ooh, yes, an office space for me to go and have a designated filming spot, place if I ever have fulfillment to do for the next March No Emotion drop, then it can all be in there. I can have staff in there if needed to help with fulfillment and all of that kind of stuff. It's going to be crazy. I'll take a video while I'm there at the viewing. Let me know what you think. It's very, very exciting. So in the end, I was not able to see the office. There were actually people in the office already at that point, so I couldn't film. Anyway, the office in the first place wouldn't be possible without the likes of you guys watching. One of the best ways that you can actually support me isn't actually financially. One of the best ways you could support me is actually by clicking the like button. The like button tells the algorithm that you enjoyed the video, and it'll actually push the video out to more people. Simply hitting like on this video actually helps out a tremendous amount. So we hear all the time about this idea that the BRICS nations are all going to come together and form their own token or their own coin, and they're going to run all of that financial system without the dollar, basically. They're going to do it all, leaving the rest of the world behind and bringing the BRICS countries up. And for this reason, people think that the BRICS nations are going to actually take over the world. And while they probably will, I want to just talk about the idea of, how can I put this? The BRICS nations working together, coming together to create this new financial system, and the different processes that it actually takes in order for that to happen. There is also the reality of what's happening right now, and then there's the perception of what's happening right now. So the whole idea of de-dollarization, essentially, we are not going to accept dollars anymore. We don't recognize it as the world reserve currency. We're going to do what we want. So first, let's get into what people think is happening. What people think is happening is that there's a coordinated effort in order to dethrone the United States and create this BRICS effort, this BRICS coin that's going to be run on distributed ledger technology, which we know is going to happen. Like we are aware of that. But the perception is that they're all working together. Now, this whole idea of them working together to do this, it has a name. And I've forgotten the name now because I'm just out in the wild here. But I'm going to put the name right below here. And it's that strategy that people believe the BRICS are using. However, there is an issue with that strategy. And the issue with that strategy comes in the form of collaboration and the lack of. It's also about the distribution of power. Now, I think we could ask anyone in the world who knows about BRICS, who are the top two countries in BRICS, right? They're going to say Russia and China. They might say China and Russia, but either way, it's both of those countries. And there's a reason for that. It's because they are the most powerful. They have the most say. And in order for there to be such a thing as a BRICS coin or a BRICS token, you need like an effort from all the countries in the BRICS nations. And as the BRICS nations start to get bigger and bigger, adding more countries, you actually need more effort to work collaboratively on this whole effort. In order to have a coin that you use all together to move money around the world in a distributed ledger technology environment, basically XRP, you know what we mean, you've got to all work together. But that is not the strategy that is being used. People might not know this. The strategy that is being used, while I don't know the exact name, it's something to do along the lines of, and I'll put it below in the screen here, basically going at it alone. This is the strategy that's being used by Russia and China. They're creating their own coins, they're creating their own CBDCs, they're doing it themselves, and they're not consulting with the other BRICS nations. Russia's coming out with the digital ruble. China's come out with the digital yuan. Different levels of advancement in all of this. And at a certain point, when everyone keeps doing it on their own, and India come out with their one, and Brazil come out with their one. We know Brazil is moving a lot in this cryptocurrency space. As they all do this independently, it actually reduces the chance of a BRICS coin, even aside from the fact that in order to create a BRICS coin, they all have to work collaboratively and all agree on the same things. Now, you will notice that all of these countries have different opinions about lots of different things. They would all have to come together in this one instance, in this one area of the world, the financial system, and the joined effort to de-dollarize their financial system. I just don't see them agreeing on it. And the thing is, they have to agree sooner rather than later, because if you leave it later, they'll all have their own coins anyway and it won't matter. But you can't do it sooner because China and Russia are basically doing their own thing. They're going it alone. That's the strategy that they're taking. And so with this information, you have to understand that a BRICS coin, although very exciting, and potentially down the line it's possible if they all agree and they've all got their own tokens, they've all got their own CBDCs, and they all decide at that point to say, okay, we can actually convert our CBDCs quicker into the BRICS coin or something technologically. Sure, that could happen. But based on this 97-page research article that I read through, it all seems to suggest that the only way to actually switch over to a BRICS coin would be to do it sooner and would have to be a collaborative effort strategy. And that's not what's happening. Russia are just leading the pack. China, I guess, leading the pack too. They're going to do whatever they want. If it benefits them both to work together with a BRICS coin at some point later in the future, then I'm sure they'll do it. But right now, it makes no sense. Now what this BRICS coin hypothetically could be built on is really interesting, right? This BRICS coin could be built on both Stellar and Ripple technologies and XRP Ledger, which is fantastic and it's very exciting. And ultimately, even their own tokens, the digital ruble, whatever token we're talking about here, is all going to be run on the same rails, right? They're all just trains. They're all just different trains on the same rails, sharing different parts of the market, different times where they stop at different stations. But ultimately, the rails are XRP. The rails are XLM too, for a different reason. I like to think of XRP as being a train track and XLM being a tram track. The trams work within smaller areas, but still transport lots of people. But the big boys, they travel on the big trains and they need to use XRP. That's kind of how I look at it. So that's my stance. I'm not saying it's completely ruled out that a BRICS coin could exist, but you need the right strategy to do that, and the countries aren't playing ball. And with that said, make sure you go to noemotion.com. The link is in the description. You can actually register to be notified when the March drop is available. There's a new design that's come in, and it's such a nice design. You're gonna all appreciate it, I think. It's more on the collegiate feel. You'll see. Also, remember that subscribing is absolutely free on this channel. I try to give almost daily, 6 a week, I think, pieces of long form content like this that you can absorb, add to your arguments when everyone tries to oppose you. You become FUD proof on this channel. And if you want to get access to earlier articles of these research pieces that I put out, or at least article versions of the research that I talk about in these videos with an added little extra element of my true opinion, then you can obviously join as a member on YouTube. It's the join button next to the subscribe button on a desktop. You won't find it on a mobile. Stay emotionless out there, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.